Greetings of the day to the viewers. Today I'm Nitansha from the On Point Bharat channel. So today we do have our very esteemed honorable guest with us, that's Mr. Christian. So we are going to ask so many questions with our guest, and let me tell you about one thing. Today we are going to talk about business and business. Though that's one of the topic I do feel like that's really booming in the society. Everybody want to know about that, what kind of business they want to start up, how the generation is about to start up the business, right? So let's talk about that, what kind of business they need to start up. So hi sir.
Hello madam.
How are you?
I'm great, and you?
So I'm all well. So could you please give us a very brief introduction about yourself?
Okay, thank you. I am Christian Chende from Cameroon, particularly from the northwest region of Cameroon. Cameroon is located in Africa.
Right.
It's a country at the heart of Africa. We call it the Central African level in Africa. I am the founder of FIMAD University, located in Douala, Cameroon, and equally a PhD candidate in financial management in the University of Douala. So it's a pleasure being on the podcast with you.
Really, really good to hear about it, sir. Sir, my first question which I need to ask you is about business. How you could define the word business, because here in India, when we talk about business, we do have so many questions in our back head. Let's say if I want to start up one business, what kind of suggestion you could give me that how I need to enhance my business? First of all, my first question about define, I want to have the definition about how could we elaborate the word business?
Okay, a business can be defined in multiple dimensions. First of all, it could be considered as a unit of redistribution of revenues or reallocation of resources, where inputs are being transformed into output. So we have many types of businesses. It can be a commercial enterprise, it can be an industrial enterprise, it can be an agricultural enterprise, it can equally be a mixed enterprise. That is agriculture, industrial, transformation, mixed enterprise. Now, when it comes to business analysis, we are obviously supposed to know the context. Where are we operating and how are internal resources being organized?
Exactly.
Yes.
So, sir, when we talk about business resources, right? So, what are your perspective on that? What kind of resources one particular being must be knowing about whenever somebody is starting up the new business?
When it comes to business resources or enterprise resources, there are two categories. We have financial resources and we have the non-financial resources.
Right.
For the non-financial resources, we have the people, the human resource. And in the modern world now, with the current trend of Generation Z, it's not easy to have the people, to have the human resource.
It's so true.
It's very difficult because of the distraction at the level of their training.
Exactly.
So back there in Cameroon, when I created FIMAD University, it was not an easy task to meet up with the right full-skill workers. At times, you see a worker, you recruit as a human resource, but the performance may not be the best.
So, sir, when you are talking about the human resources, when you talk about the skilled people, I must share you one of my experience or one of the case study that's there with us. So, in India, it's about whenever we talk about the human resources, nowadays, we are not getting a skilled worker. You know why? Because everybody is busy in paging up their social media.
Yeah.
And giving you one example, let's say if somebody is starting one of the new business and I need my team. I need my team for doing one of the performance really well. But that's my observation even, and that's one of the case study even. Nowadays, everybody is into the social media. People are not giving their time for the actual thing or for the actual job which they are doing. So what are your views on this perspective?
Generally, it's the current trend now in the world where distraction has taken over the day.
Right.
It's not easy for somebody to have a conversation with you for maybe an hour or 2 hours without manipulating the phone.
Right.
The phone has come to stay. Those are the effects of technological evolution. But now we need to know how to integrate this technological evolution in our workplaces.
Right.
So that's why you see most companies nowadays, to adapt and to keep performance very high, they make sure that the social media networks are not accessible within the job site.
Exactly.
Like in Cameroon, in my university, FIMAD University,
Right.
when you enter the campus as a student or as a worker, you don't have access to social media networks except during break.
Right.
So that's one of the ways we are trying to use a tool we are trying to use with technology to counter technology.
Exactly.
So that people can be focused and avoid applications like WhatsApp,
So true.
Facebook, Instagram, etc., etc. So we just block it, and you don't have access to those social media platforms once you are on campus.
So let me ask you one of the very additional question that's there within this topic, right? So let's say if I need to give one of the suggestion to my friend about that, if let's say my friend is starting up one business, and I'm suggesting my friend that you need not to be into your social media. Do you really think that social media plays a very vital role when it comes to, growing our business?
You cannot do business again using the classical marketing strategy.
Exactly.
You must integrate social media. Even though we have the negative part of it, but it's also having a huge impact on business financial performance.
Right.
You cannot create awareness without social media. The classical marketing of writing in newspapers, writing in magazines is long gone.
Right.
People hardly read nowadays. So most often, social media, Facebook ads, boosting has taken over. SEO optimization, search engine optimization have taken over, and it is meeting the global perspective than the classical marketing. So I think social media has a great impact on the performance of companies.
Right, sir.
But now it also plays a role to distract the youths. So you have to mitigate the two.
True.
If you are in a company to withstand the evolution.
I would be taking out this suggestion as a model, right? Yeah. So, sir, my other question, which I need to ask you, is about. So, let's say when we talk about business analysis, right? How much SWOT analysis play a vital role in business analysis? So, as we know, as I need to tell to my audience about SWOT analysis, could you please elaborate what SWOT is? Essays.
Okay.
Essays.
S is a strength.
Let's recite in a poetic way. Essays.
S is strength.
Yeah. W.
W is weaknesses.
Right. O.
Opportunities.
And T.
C, threat. Sorry, threat.
That's really fine. So could you please elaborate a little about?
Okay, SWOT analysis is a tool used for environmental diagnosis.
Exactly.
And this environment we're talking about is the environment linked to a business, to an enterprise. So in analyzing the SWOT analysis, you have to look at the business in the internal perspective. One, what are the strengths that the company have? What are their weaknesses? It's just like putting on a scale, strength, the right-hand side, weaknesses, the left-hand side. Then what are then the things that the external environment can provide in terms of opportunities, in terms of threats.
Right.
So we analyze those and then we come up with strategies. And it's a tool very important, even at the level of our individual life.
So you mean it's a tool for managing our business, right?
Yes, managing our businesses, and analyzing our businesses to take strategic decisions.
So true.
Even at our individual level, we are supposed to be capable of doing our individual SWOT analysis. What are my strengths as a person? What are my weaknesses as a person? What are my possible opportunities as a person?
So let's say if I'm running one business, right? And I know about it, that what's my weaknesses. How I need to cultivate few good habits to overcome from my weaknesses.
Obviously, as a top manager, you are supposed to work mostly on ameliorating your weaknesses. Their weaknesses could be customer dissatisfaction, could be product defect, could be poor feedback, could be high expectation from the customers, which you
So you mean for any of the business, I need to worry about that. What's my demand of the audience? What's how I need to work on it, right?
Yes.
Is it? That's very nice suggestion, I must say that. Sir, my last question, which I need to ask you about it. When we talk about the different C's of business, right? When we talk about the different strategies of business, anything which you do feel like that's very important when somebody is starting up one of the business or when somebody is running one of the business. Your suggestion or you could say your actual moral which you want to give it to our viewers.
Well, as a startupper or as a young entrepreneur, because we pray that the future generation should be all job creators, they should be entrepreneurs. As an entrepreneur, the main strategy you are supposed to adopt in your business is adaptation, constant adaptation and innovation. Because if you don't innovate, you are going to close down your doors. You go bankrupt.
True.
If today I may quote the case of Kodak. Kodak was an analog camera, but nowadays we don't say analog cameras again. Everybody has gone digital. So if Kodak was adapting to the evolution of technology, they would have been the main leader of modern numerical cameras. So I will advise every young or future entrepreneur to develop a system of constant innovation and adaptation. The day you stop innovating or the day you stop adapting, you close down your doors.
Right. So I won't be taking your much time now. So we need to go now, right? So thank you, sir, for giving us your very precious time. I must appreciate about it. And I love to meet you, right? So I, Nitansha, here with the cameraman Kuljit Singh. I would be keep on posting the new podcast here on our On Bharat channel. Thank you.